Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Well, guys, that wasn't my first sip, but I'll tell you, it was a pretty good one. I love coming out here and having my, coffees with you guys and just getting together and talking about this space, which we love so much. And I'm going to tell you, it makes my day. You guys are the best community in all of crypto. Now, this morning, I'll tell you, reading some articles. And they're talking about this whole dog and pony show with all the, the tariffs and all this and that between China and the U.S. and how Goldman Sachs is now coming out and they're saying, well, there's probably going to be a lot of concessions. It's not going to have the impacts that people think, which is kind of hilarious when you just think about a week ago, they were all like, oh my gosh, the sky is literally falling and on and on and on. And it's the game that they play. I'll tell you what, and you and I have become very familiar with the rules and the moves on the board, haven't we, guys? Because this is the psychology of the market, and in this space, is it off the Richter scale? And in fact, read an article where one of these, I'm trying to think of the guys. I think it's Captain X. I'm not sure. Anyway, he's a TA guy in this XRP ecosystem. And in the article, he's talking about, guys, listen, the narrative right now is fear, fear, fear. And there's still lots of fear in this space. That is for sure. People got really spooked, especially most of the new people that got in, after the election last year. They're very spooked. But anyway, he's coming out and he's saying, listen, the next move up is a whole lot closer than what you might think because they're printing and minting USDC into, $250 million of it. Oftentimes when we see that happening, guys, that is a catalyst. That is a tell for a big time rally. And we have yet to see a major alt season yet in this, cycle, this bull cycle. Now, I am not a proponent of the whole 4-year cycle thing. A cycle can be whatever. I kind of look at them like seasons, So I think the environment is telling us we're in a bull season because we've had new all-time highs for a lot of the assets in the space. And of course, the Russell, the Dow, the NASDAQ, and, all those new all-time highs there. Gold just on an absolute tear, gold and silver and stuff like that. So guys, I do believe right now, yep, we're in a bull cycle. And we have seen big time dips in prior cycles where it literally dropped 30, 40%. Now, this flash crash, that was an orchestrated manipulation. A lot of people have come out and said that. Well, that is an anomaly. And in fact, it was the biggest one that we've ever seen, right? So most of the damage is practically already done. I mean, when you think about that, it fell practically right to what the floor would be. And boom, in the same day, bounced right back up. And that is something that you got to wrap your brain around too, be sure, because, when you think about it this way, and it's not necessarily dollars, but market capitalization, right? So XRP lost such a significant amount, almost half of the market cap. And then, of course, as it was bought back up, based on the prices and stuff like that, obviously it's not 75 billion influxed, but $75 billion of market capitalization was added back in the very same day. Is that ever something? I'll tell you what. But it just goes to show how, when you get the, the market capitalization multiplier in there, it's not going to take as much money as you think to literally move these things. Because what's it going to be based on? Guys, it's going to be based on the last price that the asset was sold. And you got these TA guys coming out there and they're saying, look, the fun, what we see on the charts here, this analysis that they're doing, and they've mirrored it to what happened in 2017, that it just had a major crash like that. I think it was like 53% drop. And then from there, boom, shot off insane. And that's why my video last night was a 6,000% move when it did that. Well, you got these guys saying that this could happen literally before the end of the year. And if we do see that, I think it's going to make a lot of people happy. But of course, they're trying to spook you and I out of our positions, literally terrify us so that when it pops back up a little bit, we're like, well, I better take my profit and run because, come on, and all this and that. And then a lot of people did that, by the way, in 2017. And you know what? They missed out on the majority of that massive move. A lot of them did because, they got just literally shaken out of their positions. And we know there's a lot of new people in the space. And I totally understand the emotions because we felt them too back at that time. Guys, don't let yourself Get spooked out and shaken out. When in doubt, zoom out. Look down the road at what's coming, and you can see it. You can see it as plain as day. And what they're trying to tell you is, oh, don't pay attention to any of this over here. It's nothing. It's a big, nothing burger, right? Well, you got central banks putting in billions, if not trillions of dollars, developing the infrastructure for this new digital economy. But it's a big nothing burger. It's like driving down, the main street of your town, and they got a big fence around a massive area, and you hear all the jackhammers and all the dust is up, and it seems like they're building something. But oh, no, nothing's going on over there. Nothing, no. What do? Because of all the looky-loos, what they on the sidewalks, they cut little holes in the I guess the plywood fence that they put up there so that people can look in and see, and that's what I'm saying. Cut yourself a window, look in and see. Do you really think that they're doing all this change and all the infrastructure, no intention of using it? Come on, guys, we know that that's nonsense, but they're going to use every little ounce of fear and uncertainty and doubt, all the FUD that they can, to just shake you like crazy. And if they can get you to capitulate, guys, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. Yep. And a lot of us are out there, and we're in for the long-term view. We're in for the long-term view. You and I did not buy our XRP so we could see a 50 cents or $1 or maybe even a $2 move. Did you? I didn't. I know that. I was buying it for, hey, the achievement of some major goals and how it was going to affect our family long-term. And Judy and I have seen that. Look, the lowest price that we ever bought XRP, I think, was like 11 or 12 cents back in March of 2020. The bulk of it was 17 to 19 cents. And so we've seen major levels of appreciation. And so for these folks that sit there and come out and tell you, oh, I've been in it for 8 years and I haven't seen nothing, absolute nonsense. Why? Because if they have been in that long, they saw XRP under 1 penny, and it's on them if they didn't sell it when it hit over $3, $2, $3 again, and on, because those are massive percentage gains, guys. And so if they're selling that narrative, to me, it's just utter baloney and total hogwash. Either that or the worst trader that ever walked on the face of the earth, the worst investor, I should say, because that is monumental. And guys, you got to get to know the psychology of the market, like I say, all the time. I bring this out all the time, just as much as I encourage you to get out there and research this for yourself all the time, don't I? And look, we opened up our coaching there, of course, after the flash crash. Do you know why? Most people, there were so many people that got absolutely wrecked, and the nonsense that went on in this space, just motivated by sheer and utter fear. And what we try to do is help you to identify all these psychological markers so that you can win at their game. How about that right there? Yep. And as of next week, I think I have maybe 3 sessions left for next week. So if that interests you and you want to get in there, thedigital.outlook.com. Go over there, get yourself on the calendar. But I'll tell you something. You want to take that time. Invest in yourself, whether you take it from me, take it from somebody else, or you get out there and do it yourself. Peel back the onion. Don't listen to the noise and the nonsense, because it is absolutely crazy now. Those articles, I'm going to drop them right down here into the description of this video. You can read this stuff for yourself. Guys, I think something big is going to take place this next quarter, and we've got all the indicators like I described last night, the ETFs, Ripple getting an OCC banking license, you got all the regulatory clarity pieces coming together, and on and on and on. I don't think you can think of a better setup for XRP than what we see right now. I think it is going to be absolutely historic when this thing blows off. But the crazy thing is, so many people are probably going to miss it. And why? Number one, they're oblivious to it, right? And number two, they've let the fear just grab a hold of them and shake them right out. I'll tell you, that's what I think. So guys, don't let that be you. You just get out there, do that research, build up the confidence. When in doubt, zoom out right there. So guys, I'll tell you what, until later on today when we have another fantastic video for you, have a fabulous one and take care.